If you didn't know, my name is Ryan. This is the No Autopilot YouTube channel. I put out daily cryptocurrency videos going deeper than anyone else you're going to find on YouTube. How this comes about, we have a community poll that we do every single day asking what project do you want us to cover in our next video. And you can't see it here, but Wax won on our last poll. Now, quick question. We all know that NFT growth stagnated, right? Due to high ETH gas fees. You think about it, you try and do a $150 transaction, now you're paying $60 in fees for the run-of-the-mill entry person into cryptocurrency. That's a lot. But what if you could find and invest in a project that solves that problem? You think it could 100x? And in today's video, we're going to be doing the deep research into Wax to determine if it has that type of potential for us. Now, of course, if you've seen this channel before, you know sometimes I get things wrong. I'm only human. In addition to that, this is not financial advice. And lastly, I am going to put timestamps in the description down below. So if you want to jump around to whatever part interests you the most, you can. So let's zoom out. So when we look at Wax, this is kind of the breakdown right now. Okay, so you have Ethereum, where most of the total value locked, most of the transactions are happening around NFTs and play to earn games. Then you have Immutable X, which kind of stacks on top of it, shares some of its features. And then you also have Polygon that can have a bridge and work back and forth with each other. And then you have these two off here on the side that said, we're not going to build off of Ethereum. We're going to build our own blockchain to compete against Ethereum. And that's where Wax is at. Now, we talked about those fees and how those have continued to go up and up and up. Here's a report showing the value settled on Ethereum versus the transaction fees. See if I can blow this up for you guys a little bit. So as you see here, average monthly fees continue to go up and up and up, not going down. So again, it comes back to that question. Could a competitive blockchain that has lower fees, faster transaction speeds, compete? Now, when we look at the goal, so Wax is a purpose-built NFT blockchain. It's intending to give you everything that you need to go ahead and launch an NFT project. In addition to that, they're targeting the green alternative to Ethereum, right? They don't have that proof of stake, and they lean heavily in their marketing on the green NFT minting machine. And then kind of putting the last little piece on that, they do also have a product that they're marketing right now called VIRL NFT, where in essence, if you own an NFT, that can allow you to redeem a physical good in the real world. Or if you don't want it, you could send it to somebody else and then they could redeem it for a physical item, a real world. Cryptomart Coco, Wax similar to Chili's? Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to ruin my video just yet, but undecided. So we look at the founders. So Wax was co-founded by William Quigley, and he had co-founded Tether, which is one of the massive stablecoin derivatives in crypto right now. One comment I do have to make, if you look at his picture here, and I know I'm kind of just like picking at him here, but like one of those guys that would be behind a Scooby-Doo painting, right? When the gang walks by and like the eyes in the painting in the picture are looking around. So take that for what you will. Sorry, William. In addition to that, they also have Jonathan Yantis. He was a co-founder of Mastercoin, one of the first projects to launch via ICO. And he also launched OP Skins, which was a trading website for gaming skins. Speaking on that, OP Skins was where kind of this whole idea on Wax started. It was a exchange where you could buy and sell CSGO skins. Valve gave them a cease and desist saying, hey, you can't sell our asset. And then these guys were like, all right, well, screw you. We're going to go make our own blockchain and we're going to figure out a way to do this without you saying that we can or cannot. That's pretty bad. Pretty badass. I like that. We look at the social media. They do have a bit of a presence, 7,000 members in Reddit, 250,000 on Twitter, a very, very well updated Medium page. And if we go and we pull this sucker up, this is Lunar Crush. This is just a tool that looks at social sentiment. Zoom out. Won't let me zoom out because I'm not logged in. Well, in essence, if you zoomed it out, you see that it's kind of running at a negative sentiment right now. And I think we'll find out why as we get deeper into the video. Now we like to play the game of what if. So if Wax went ahead and hit the market cap of Ethereum, right? Big what if, that would show a 502x return on whatever your current investment. Now, if we want a more realistic comparison, if we compared it to Flow, which is another standalone blockchain targeting that NFT, eco-friendly, fast transaction type thing, now you're looking at a 3. Now when we look at potential growth levers, first, let's talk about the burns. Burn, baby, burn. So Wax introduced in 2021, part of their DeFi protocol, a burning mechanism. So 2% of secondary NFT transactions on Wax are pulled each month. and then 20% of the WAX-P token are burnt. So there's a deflationary element to this token. I think in addition to that, if we look at growth, adding additional partners, projects, if they can master the ability of new users onboarding, right? Those folks who have never used crypto before, never used a wallet, never sent crypto, transferred crypto, I think those would be huge. In addition, they're also working on a bridge in early 2022 with Binance NFT platform. And they've also mentioned an Ethereum virtual machine as well as an Ethereum bridge. So what could the WAX ecosystem look like if it had access to the network effects of the Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum? I think that's a bull signal. Now, when we talk about partners, these are some of the brands that have went ahead and launched. You got World Series of Poker, Spider-Man, Street Fighter. These are some of the games currently built. We look at Alien Worlds, we look at Splinterlands, Farmer's World. High quality games are built on the WAX blockchain right now. Now we talk about the utility of the WAX token. One of it is to go ahead and buy the NFT assets. This is part of their Brawler auction that's happening right now. You can see 1,000 WAX. You can get yourself a Brawler 350 Silver Fox. You can also use it for governance and for staking that WAX token. Now we look at total supply. We have around 4 billion, with only about 2 billion currently in circulation. Now, I went back into the archives, and fun fact, the ICO price for WAX ended up being around 32 cents. And what they did is they did a trade-off. So you gave them 1 ETH, and in return, they give you $163 at that point in time in WAX token. If you didn't know, Ethereum's worth around $3,000 right now. So if you would have taken this trade, you'd be down about $2,800 per ETH, which is a lot. There were also some concerns around when this thing originally launched that there was some dumping, some whales, which obviously we can't control, but there was even some rumors on some team members dumping on the. Now we talked about governance. So if you're a WAX holder, you can go ahead, submit and vote on proposals to influence the network, which is a complete contrast to what we just seen at Recur. Like the community doesn't have that type of ability. And I like to see this in place, especially in crypto. That's what it's all about. Decentralization, not centralization. Talk about where you can buy it. Pretty much just about any exchange you can imagine, except I don't believe Coinbase was on here. That's something you can look forward to if you're a holder of the WAX token. Talk about latest news. They have all these different partnerships, announcements coming out on their announcement page. We touched on this already, but they did some overhauls to their tokenomics in January of 2021. And that was to kind of add that burn mechanism as well as bolt on a DeFi component to the blockchain. Now, when we talk about some of the big accomplishments here, WAX has become a disruptive force in the world of blockchain, NFTs, and play-to-earn gaming. And this comes at a time when the WAX blockchain averages 15 million plus daily transactions, 8,000 per second, which if you didn't know, I think Ethereum's like 15 per second or something along those lines, 500,000 daily users, and it's one of the most transacted blockchains in the world. Now, if we pull up the roadmap, this is something I didn't like. It shows the roadmap started in June 2021, and although they're getting things done, there's no future dates, and it doesn't seem to be as clearly updated as, especially if I'm a WAX token holder. Now, we talked about this a little bit too, in terms of being green, right? The greener alternative to Ethereum. They show the estimated terawatts they use to go ahead and process transactions compared to Ethereum, which is at 100 terawatts, and Bitcoin, which is 202. Now, one thing I think is interesting here, so I pulled up DApp Radar, which does a breakdown of all the different NFT trading protocols as well as games. And if we go ahead, we sort by users, is 3 spots in the top 7. Splinterlands, Alien Worlds, and Farmer's World. Looks like a little bit over 500,000 users. I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting. Worth commenting on. Now, one thing I didn't like, so this thing was launched way back in 2017. And if you guys have traded for a while, the whole ICO boom of 2017, where like things were getting valued crazy, and people were losing money, inevitably fell flat. This is kind of like a perfect chart illustrating. So it's been around for a long time. And I think at the speed at which crypto moves, you kind of got to crap or get off the pot, especially if you're building a rival blockchain to Ethereum. You've had years to go ahead and eat their lunch while they've been struggling through these gas fees. And only recently have you started to make any progress. I'm a little perturbed about that. Now, another thing too is you're talking about the trade-offs. So Ethereum is known to be one of the most secure blockchains out there, but has a very low throughput. So what are you trading off in order to have those faster transaction speeds on Wax? And the answer is the staking mechanism or validators. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe that they have 21 block producing validators right now that are all pre-chosen by Wax. They do have a Wax guild rating report that comes out monthly, where those organizations are evaluated for their success or failure in keeping the network up. But in terms of a centralization risk, this is highly centralized in comparison to most blockchains. Now, Delphi Digital went ahead and put out a report kind of breaking down all your different options. You know, if you're trying to catch lightning on this GameFi NFT space, like what's going to be the main leader in the pack? Obviously, we have Ethereum, we have Flow, and Wax across all of their different rating categories, in essence, scored with probably the one I'm most excited about on this list being Immutable X, which finished second. Now, if we also go ahead, we look at how many NFT volume has been settled by chain. Again, we see Ethereum over here doing its thing. Flow seems to have some nice little peaks associated with the NBA Top Shot, and Wax, unfortunately, is just kind of a blip on the radar. And then if we also look at the largest record sale price by chain, we see that Wax was around 85,000 as a largest single purchase, with Ethereum being 69 million. So I think wrapping this one up, I think the founding team is impeccable. Okay, you got the guy who created Tether. Okay, he's a smart individual. I think in addition to that, they're major players in the history of crypto. Must be well networked, well connected, know how to play the game, play it well. And I think the problem that they're trying to address, the Ethereum gas fees and transaction speeds, is a real one. They're also using some great marketing when they're talking about how they're leaner, greener, and meaner than Ethereum. That was a big point of contention last year, is the environmental impact of these things. And then again, if we look at the use cases, I mean, they have games. They have games that are in some of the top user rankings on DApp Radar. I think cons, it's been around since 2018. It's been around since 2018, and the asset price, it's lower. It's lower than when it released by about half in 2018. I think in addition to that, it's possible that they underestimated the network effects of ETH, because now you have a new coding language when you talk about Wax. Now you lure developers over, promising it's going to be better than Ethereum. And there's an opportunity cost there too. So if a dev has to slow down to kind of learn a new language while all of his buddies are making money printing it on Ethereum, I think that would maybe a challenge that they underestimate. I think they also may have overestimated their ability to compete against Ethereum, where kind of the biggest bright spots on their roadmap are them creating a bridge to Ethereum, right? And to Binance. And then finally, the last con is being the security, not having it be decentralized enough for us to feel comfortable with it in terms of crypto. So I think overall, if you want exposure into the budding cryptocurrency space, infrastructure pieces that could go ahead and do really well by you, Wax is a great option. But there you have it. There's my breakdown on Wax. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything, something I overlooked or underlooked. And also hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what video you want me to cover next.